Okay, I'm getting tired now. Hold on.
You got this.
Hi everyone, how's it going? It's Thao. I've always been a fan of tablets. My first ever was a random one that I can't even remember the name of. The thing I do remember was that it was terrible, and I mean really terrible. I then went on to purchase the iPad Air, which got me hooked. I use that thing all the time. When Apple released the iPad Pro 10.5 inch last year, I was interested. I wanted to upgrade my original iPad Air since it was starting to slow down and show its age. I bought the iPad Pro last November. The price tag of the iPad Pro was a little hard for me to swallow since I also bought the Apple Pencil and the Smart Keyboard with it. In today's video, I'll be going over the top 5 ways that I use my iPad Pro 10.5 inch. If you're thinking about picking one up, maybe this video will help you decide whether you need the Pro or if you can save some money and go with the regular one. Apple should also be updating their iPad Pro lineup very soon, so if you don't need one right away, I suggest you hold off until they announce it. Let's get right into it. Affinity Photo for the iPad Pro is probably the best 20-something dollars you ever spend on an app. With Photoshop going with a monthly subscription fee, I wanted to find an alternative to save some money. Affinity Photo was highly recommended, so I gave it a shot and was immediately impressed. It's basically a Photoshop alternative with a one-time cost. I used Affinity Photo on my iPad Pro along with my Apple Pencil to create all my thumbnails and for any photo editing. It was a steep learning curve initially, but thankfully the app comes with some very handy video tutorials. Editing photos on a touchscreen is extremely intuitive. There's just something about working directly on a photo with your hands. The Apple Pencil allows for some very precise edits when your fingers are too big. My second use for the iPad Pro is for taking handwritten notes and script writing. I use Notability and Apple Notes primarily. I really wish I had a product like the iPad Pro when I was in school. Writing with the Apple Pencil on the iPad Pro is absolutely amazing. It made me realize that handwriting is almost like a lost art now. There is basically no lag when writing on the iPad with the Apple Pencil. The line follows the tip as if there were actually ink coming out of the pencil. I find that writing things by hand helps me remember content better. This is especially important when I'm writing scripts for my videos. I can also switch to my Smart Keyboard if I need to. I also prefer to handwrite notes during meetings for work. It allows me to maintain eye contact with whomever I'm working with. I can also immediately share my notes via email if needed since it's digital. I find that a laptop is much less professional for a meeting and tends to be more distracting. My third use for the iPad Pro is consuming media. Although phone screens are becoming larger and larger, I still find the iPad Pro's amazing display and 4 stereo speakers to be much more enjoyable and immersive. On the iPad Pro, I'm able to multitask and view multiple sources at one time. I love doing this on my Galaxy S9, and I'm so glad that iOS implemented the multitasking on the iPad. For example, I can open YouTube and start playing a video, then open Safari to surf the web in split screen mode. To take it even further, I can add a third app like Reddit in a slide overview. The great thing is I can simply swipe it off to the side when I'm not using it, then swipe it back into view when I want to use the app again. Another great advantage of a tablet for media consumption is that you can take it anywhere with you around the house. I can take it to the living room, the washroom, the bedroom, even the backyard to continue watching movies or YouTube. Good luck doing that with a cumbersome laptop or desktop computer. The biggest draw of a Pro tablet is that it has great specs in a very portable package. This makes it great for getting light work done on the go. It definitely doesn't replace your laptop though. More on that later. The key word there is light. Although you can work on Excel spreadsheets and even edit videos, it's just not as productive for me. It's my go-to device for everything else computer related though. I take mine to coffee shops, public libraries, parks, meetings to get work done. It fits perfectly into my purse, and I love how light it is to carry around. When I carry my MacBook, I feel strain around my shoulders after like 20 minutes, and I'm not weak either. Scanning files and then marking them up or signing contracts on the iPad is invaluable. I cannot count how many times this has come in handy for me. I also feel the most creative when I'm away from my desk. Being able to draw and jot down ideas as they come to me is really important for my workflow. That's why the iPad Pro stays with me on the go. My fifth use is for drawing and expressing myself artistically. Growing up, I always enjoyed drawing and painting. At a young age, I was even commissioned to do a painting for a local kids hospital. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, as I grew older, this hobby sort of faded away due to other obligations. I bought the iPad Pro to spark this interest again. Procreate, an app promoted by Apple, was one of the first apps that I purchased when I first got the tablet. The fact that I can have every single art tool out there in the form of a stylus and tablet is amazing. If you haven't seen some of the art that people are doing on their iPad Pros, then you need to YouTube it now. My New Year's resolution was to draw more this year. It's been almost 6 months and I haven't drawn once, sadly. But better late than never, right? Right? I'm gonna make a conscious effort to draw at least once a week. Question that I get a lot from friends and acquaintances when they see me using the iPad Pro is, can I replace my MacBook or laptop with it? If you're the type of person that uses their laptop mainly for leisure, then yes. It works great for surfing the web, emails, consuming media, taking handwritten notes, and the occasional Word and Excel processing. If you're the type of person that uses their laptop mainly for work purposes, then definitely not. Since iPad Pro runs on iOS, a mobile platform, Excel, for example, is missing a lot of features that is present on a full-blown computer. Using Excel with a touchscreen instead of a trackpad or mouse is horrible. I mean, a total productivity killer. It'll drive you crazy. Stick to a laptop or computer if you work with a lot of spreadsheets for work. For students or creative individuals who want to draw or edit photos, I can see the iPad Pro providing a lot of value. In my case, I have the MacBook Pro served as my main computer at home. My iPad Pro is what I carry along with me when I have to get work done on the go. It's a very expensive device, but with its compact design and the Apple Pencil, it's the perfect portable companion for me. There you have it, my top 5 uses for the iPad Pro. What do you think of the iPad Pro? If you own one, which feature made you buy it over the regular iPad? Drop a like if you enjoyed watching the video. As always, it's much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out so you don't miss any videos of mine. Until the next one, peace. Bye.